Hey guys, I've wanted to make videos like this for a while, but I just never knew how to go about it in a way that I was happy with, or writing a script that I was happy with either. I felt like every time I wrote a script, I sounded very fake, and that's not how I want to come across when I talk about things like this. So we're going into it very, very unformally, and very, I guess like right off the top of my head, I guess. But there's a topic I want to talk about, and it's very loosely related to something I've been thinking about a lot lately. But if you've been hanging around the VTuber community, and especially if you've been on Twitter, you'll have seen Bao's tweet where she talked about uh, basically warning small female streamers to be wary of big male streamers, and saying, not even saying, just alluding to them being like, uh, what's a nice, okay, there's no nice way to say, alluding to them being like sexual predators and stuff like that, you know? I don't think a predator is the right word. I just think being like a fucking creep is like a more accurate thing to say. But when I saw that tweet, it was funny. I completely get where she's coming from, and I'll explain my thought here. But basically, there aren't many big male streamers who are altruistic. A lot of the biggest are very greedy, very selfish people. And it's not unheard of that they would use their platform to gain favors like that. And they don't even have to be big male streamers. Like, some small male streamers also try and take their stab at getting favors from women in return for like, giving them a platform. And you see it all the time. It's like constantly in a Google Doc. It's constantly written about in drama and stuff like that. And that's why I get why she said what she said. But there are two arguments that come from that, right? The first argument, which I think is kind of weak, and I'll like kind of talk about it like really quickly. The first argument is like, well, women also do the same. And the weak answer back has always been, well, not a lot of them do it. And you're right. Not a lot of them do it, but I'm telling you now, yeah, they do it. they do it in the same way guys do. Not a lot, but it happens. But girls, when they do this kind of networking, giving smaller streamers a platform, there is an expectation that, you know, you're loyal, you don't bite the hand that feeds. All this stuff, you know, it's a very business move, it's a very calculated move. And that's why the way they approach it is very different to how men approach it. And this is where the second argument comes in, where it's like, that's not a majority of men or women who do that. There's much, much more who do things just to be nice, or do things just to meet people, just to see people, you know? Like, I don't think I've raided into someone with the expectation that they'll send me some fucking pictures. And I'm not a big streamer, and it's like, well, okay, yeah, but like, when you get big, uh-huh, sure, buddy, whatever. But, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with what she said. I can completely understand where it's coming from. It makes sense to me. I think the controversy and the drama is more focused on her not really understanding, her really not, getting why guys feel hurt that they're being generalized like this. And it's very shitty that girls and some guys have been like, well, if you feel called out by this, then you're self-reporting, bro. And it's like, it's not really self-reporting. It's more to do with the fact that I don't know how long it's been going, because I remember it like ever since I was young, where guys have always been generalized, were always compared to the worst of our kind, you know? Uh, we're always told we have to be better, we gotta hold each other accountable, and you see it a lot in games, movies, ad campaigns, where we're constantly compared to some of the scummiest people in our gender for simply sharing the same gender as them. And then it's really taught people that, like, well, if you give a guy a chance, they'll really show you their true selves. They'll become the Harvey Weinstein that they were destined to be. They'll become the Jeffrey Epstein that they were destined to be. The EDP, the Dr. Disrespect. They're just given the chance, you know, just give them a chance and they'll do it. And yeah, we just generalize like that all the time for something we have no control over, you know? And we're not being compared to them because of the way we act. We're not compared to them for the way we like conduct ourselves, like the content we do. We're compared with them for something we are born with, and it's kind of shit. It's kind of sucky, you know? And I think that's why people are upset with her, because she's generalizing like that, and she doesn't understand why guys feel like that, because maybe she doesn't understand because this is normal. This is how things are now. Like, it's so ingrained to generalize men like this. We are one, you know? We're a hive mind. Maybe that's why it doesn't seem unnatural to anybody, because they've just grown up with it, and it feels so natural to them now that, like, this is the standard nowadays. This isn't abnormal. And in a way, isn't that sad? Isn't that kind of shitty? That we're constantly compared to the worst people. That we are told to give up our spaces, be self-sacrificing, put everyone ahead of ourselves. But when we need something for ourselves, we're told to man up, deal with it. We're told to take up stoicism, take it on the chin. And then they are confused, and then they're baffled when men get depressed. They're baffled that 54,000 men attempt to take their own lives a year. And then they're baffled that people like Andrew Tate get given the platform and the following that they do, because they're the only people who are telling men that they have some sort of value in the world. And it's a shame because it's coming from such horrid people, you know? But they're saying something that no one else is gonna say, because it's more safe and it's more I don't know if it's even profitable to just shit on men and emasculate them at any chance. And it's just been like this for so long. Like, men, right, and ladies, when was the last time you were complimented? And then I want you to think about, when was the last time you complimented someone? And for guys, right, I want you to think about the last time you were complimented. Was it when you were doing something actually good? Or when, has it always come after you've said something sad? When you've been at your lowest, then you've been complimented? And I feel like that's how it is with a lot of guys. We've always only been complimented whenever we're at our lowest. It always feels a bit backhanded. It's like, oh, you know, I'm feeling a bit depressed. And then they're like, no, don't feel like that. You're so kind and so amazing. It's never come without a condition, you know? It's always been compliments out of condition. And I feel like that's how it is with guys nowadays. A lot of the praise we get is conditional. A lot of the spaces we have is conditional. And I don't know, just, it's kind of shit. And it just makes me think, this would be a little rich, right? Because, like, it kind of sucks to be a guy in this day and age. it's crap. And someone will be like, well, women and like trans people were treated horribly in the past. And it's like, okay, but I wasn't born in that past. I've never treated anyone poorly like this in the past. I've always been fair with people. I've always treated them the best I could. So why am I being, again, compared to people in the past that I have zero to do with? You know? And it's not going to change overnight, and I don't think it ever will. And men's mental health is a joke, mostly. And I don't know, we just told to cope with it. We're told to, oh, just watch a Ryan Gosling edit to get over it. You know, just take up gambling. Have you tried meth? Have you tried drinking? And you'll see the only way we can... Not the only way we can. The only way we're told to cope with it is to fantasize about our own self-destruction. And I think that's kind of sad. Because, the way that not only media, but like society tells that like every woman is strong, every woman is special. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's nice. That makes sense. But when it comes to guys, it's like, yeah, man up, pussy. And I think, I know someone out there is gonna start thinking it, right? They're gonna start putting labels. Like, oh, you're sounding a little incel-y, Creed. You're starting to sound like an incel. And it's like, damn, it's that easy to just label someone like that. But, I don't think I am. For me, I've just am passionate about mental health in general, not just about men. But I don't think it'd be right about me to lecture you about women's mental health. I don't think that'd make any sense. So I can only talk about the side that makes sense, that I can, I guess, represent. But it's so easy to reduce a guy in this day and age. It's so easy to belittle him because there's so many easy ways you can talk about how he's broke, how he gets no bitches, how he's an incel, who he's got a tiny dick, or there's like a fucking list for this shit. There's like you can go on for days. And how is it that like you don't feel any sort of self-hatred after a while when, because you're not as successful, you're not seen as likable and stuff, because you don't meet a certain abstract concept of what a man's supposed to be, you know? But God forbid you use the same insults on a woman. Holy shit. And then you're like, well, you're a misogynist. It's a bit sexist. And it's like, okay. It's a bit sexist to say the same thing to a man, isn't it? But, no. The treatment between a guy and a girl is a bit... I don't want to say... it's a bit mismatched on both sides, right? There is an imbalance. I'm not saying like, oh, men have it so hard, boo-hoo. They have it hard in one way, and girls have it hard in a lot of others. But I don't know. I just think with how things are, guys can't help but feel like they have no place. And when people like Bao, who have a large platform and a especially large voice, get to generalize men and add another drop in the bucket of insults, it's hard not to feel a bit shitty about it. And that's why I kind of get why guys are upset about it. And again, I get why she said it, because it makes sense. It does come from a place of truth. But the controversy does stem mostly from her not willing to understand the other side of the argument. That she's not willing to compromise her words, even though they are a bit dumb. But, you know, I think especially with a topic like this, like mental health and society, I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that you're wrong, you know? Because it's not a simple subject. It's not a subject that has a concise, definitive answer. It's not like mathematics, where there is an answer, you know? It's feelings, and it's people, and there's no one answer, there's no direct answer. And in a couple years, the answer will change, you know? And I think it's... This is gonna seem so shit to say, but like, I'm just gonna say it. I do think it's her fault that she's not willing to have that discussion, and that she's chosen to, instead of talk with the people who are willing to have a genuine, proper discussion, she's chosen to echo the thoughts of some fucking unhinged people who go out and be like, yeah, we should just kill women. Instead of the thousands of others who are like, well, Bao, you're kind of wrong about this, and here's why. She's chosen to focus on not having a discussion, and it's like really shitty, and it's really petty. And I think that I don't want to say as a creator you have a responsibility, because at the end of the day you're a person and you have your own choices. I don't think because you're bigger you need to be held to a higher standard. I don't think that at all. I think that's a bit stupid, because I think suddenly you're famous, you got an arbitrary number of followers, you suddenly need to be responsible. Shut the fuck up. No, I think there is an expectation, though, that if you're willing to platform those kind of voices, you'd be willing to have a discussion with the actual sincere voices, you know? I don't know, does that make sense? Am I making sense? Am I just rambling? Am I talking shit? Yeah, I'm probably talking shit. But I don't know. I think this should have been resolved so long ago. And I find her response to all this very disgusting, where she just blames it on mental health and mental stress. I think that's such a cowardly thing to do. It's so fucking reductive. Because imagine, right? Let's use another very trendy topic. Imagine Hassan comes out and says, you know, guys, I didn't mean to zap my dog. I didn't mean to show him the mighty power of Zeus. I didn't mean to show what it means to tussle with the god of thunder, you know. I just want to blame my mental health. You know, I was really going through a lot of mental stress lately, and so it just caused me to zap my dog. Do you see how like shitty of an answer that is? How it doesn't take accountability. It just shifts the blame to something that I think everyone finds like understandable. Mental health and stress. It's such an easy fucking cope. It's such a bullshit answer, because it's like one of those things I feel like everyone can understand. Stress, mental health. And that's why I think it's such a cowardly thing to do, to hide behind that. When the simple answer and the most easiest thing you could have said was, I was wrong, and I'm sorry, and yeah, I didn't mean to generalize. Because, believe it or not, I do think most people understand where you're coming from. I do think most people understand where the initial post was coming from. That there are guys who do that. And there are big people who do that. In fact, it was a massive problem in Hollywood. But to generalize, to say all big male streamers like that, I think that's so disgusting. That's so shit. Like, imagine, right? if she had the balls to say, Kai Cenat is using his platform on small female streamers so he can get sexual favors. But the thing is, all these people who say these things like that are fucking cowards. They're pussies. And that's why they use no names, they vague post, and they make generalized remarks, because they want to seem like they're strong by calling people out. But they don't want to call people out, because they're scared. That's why they won't use names, they'll generalize. They want to seem like they're doing something, they want to seem like they're an activist. They want to seem like they're standing up without actually having to do it. And I think that is a waste of time, and I think that is so cowardly. Either, like, say something genuine, call people out if they deserve to be called out. Don't do this fucking vague posting shit. It helps no one. And all you're doing is getting ass pats from people who already kiss up to you. But yeah, that's been my thoughts about it. It's a little bit all over the place, but I like to think I generally talked about Bao's tweet and men's mental health in this space, or in general. But I don't know. I like talking about these kind of things. It's something I'm passionate about. I think I mentioned before. I'm just passionate about mental health. And it really rubs me the wrong way when people use it as a shield, when people just find such shitty ways to make it, I don't know, seem like nothing. But there will be more videos like this in the future. I do like having discussions about these kind of things. So if you have your own opinions, please feel free to share them with me down below. I do actually enjoy having a discussion. I don't like this whole thing that's happened on the internet where there's only two sides. My side and your side. I think that's kind of stupid. So no, feel free to share your opinions. I'm very open to conversation and discussion about these kind of things. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. I hope you're having a good day or night, and bye.